everyone. Welcome to Networking Now India. We're back with our 3 p.m. lives. How are you all doing? Thank you for beginning to log in. Hi Azmina, how are you? So today I'm actually speaking to and interviewing Roshni Chopra, and I'm really excited about that because she's somebody who, I love her zest for life and the way she takes on everything that she does. Hope you all are well. We're back with our 3 p.m. lives on Networking Now, and I have Roshni here, so I'm going to get her on. Please leave your questions. Hi to everyone logging in.
Hello.
Hi Roshni.
Hi, so good to see you.
You are literally one of the last people I saw just before the lockdown happened, right?
Yeah, on the day, I think it was like a day
Yes,
after, before Holi or something like that.
Yeah. How are you? You're looking so
I'm
lovely.
good. Thank you. I put on lipstick for you. Please appreciate the effort.
I know, look at you. But Roshni, you always look good. Whether lockdown or not, you're always the best dressed. And I'm not saying it because I'm talking to you today. But Mom and I always see how Roshni is always so well put together.
Yeah, thank you. No, I've been in pajamas the entire time because my kids are also home and it's, no school. So everything is homeschooling. So I oscillate between one pajama, the other pajama, and I'm, trying to glam it up by wearing earrings.
I'm living in 6 pairs of,
Yeah.
clothes. Washing machine back, washing machine back.
But it really goes to show you how little we need. We keep accumulating things and we keep sort of making these lists of things that are going to make us happy. And that doesn't really work out. And now when we've been challenged to stay home and to not do anything,
look at us.
Yeah, we're finding ways to still be happy, So we don't need that much.
Yeah, absolutely. We have Shubha from Team Gauge, who's a member with us also. She says, Roshni, this easy drape sari queen.
Yay, it's my favorite, one of my favorite inventions that we worked really hard on when we started the brand because, it was one of those things which I think was in the first lot of designs, which was really very close to what my ideal wardrobe is. And even though I love the sari and I love draping it, just the idea of like a zip straight up, and there are many versions of it in the design world, but I have to say that from having worn all those versions, I think RCDC's version is the easiest one to wear.
It is. I have to say that of course, we're talking about your clothes today, but I want to first start before anyone asks more questions about the clothes, about you and about how you got into acting and how, I've never met you when you were acting. I met you, okay, you're still acting, but I met you when you started the brand.
Yeah.
And we formed a bond ever since. But tell me a little bit about that.
So, it was purely by chance. I did my master's in England in communication studies, and I wrote this entire thesis on the war on terrorism and how media had a role to play in it. And I came back to India. My parents are from Delhi, so I was living in Delhi when I came back from England. And I got a job at Seagram's, and I was like in the marketing division, setting up, the Blenders Pride fashion tour, for example, was my idea. And then, of course, we took it forward with the company. Now it's been so many years since and it's still going strong. And many other things for Seagram's. And I used to do a lot of theater, but it was as a hobby. It was never thought of as a profession. And in Delhi, it's a thing, you do theater, like girls from Delhi, South Delhi kind of get into theater groups and they do all these English plays. So I was doing a lot of that, which is also where I met my husband, Sid, in one such play. And Charu Sharma saw me there and they were looking for a cricket anchor. And he offered me this thing to like come on. And he said, you speak well, you speak good English, and come on, and we need someone for the cricket show. So my boss at Seagram's actually said, okay, don't quit. You go do the shooting and the matches are for X number of hours and you come to work after that. So I did that for a whole year, and then I started getting offers from Bombay. And then I think Sid, my now husband, then boyfriend, wanted to move to Bombay because he had studied film in America for 4 years. And I came on one of these trips to see him, and that's when Ekta Kapoor spotted me and offered me kasam se. So I had to say, okay. And like, I also wanted to move to Bombay and live with Sid. And so I quit my job. I came. I did not even know how to speak such good Hindi. And I remember my first few days at shoot for Balaji. I was like, what is Sahanshilta and how do I pronounce this? But I worked really hard at it. And then I started anchoring shows in Hindi. So, I went really from zero to be able to master that language. And yeah, my first show became a really big show and kept getting shows after that.
Yeah, amazing. And of course, you've been part of the Kapil Sharma show, which we all love.
Yeah.
And I've seen you part of that too, and so many other things. But today I'm talking to Roshni because our platform is about business and growing your business.
Entrepreneurs.
So today I'm talking to Roshni, the businesswoman. And of course, I've seen the way you work, and it's commendable how you and your sister put this complete brand together. And it's just the hustle, and I love that about you because it's no nonsense. It's not just it's not a small project. It is something. It's a big part of what you do. So first I want to ask you and start off, how did you get into Roshni Chopra design and why?
So I have been designing my clothes since the age of 5. Okay. Like if there was ever a special function or special occasion, I would not buy an outfit. I've always been into bespoke since I was a baby. So I would say like, no, this fabric and this and whatever. So I've always been a person who likes to put things together and is very hands-on. I finally had the time when I got pregnant with my first child, with Jay, wherein I saw there was like horrible maternity clothing. And I was like, I am not wearing all of this. Please, I need to feel sexy even if I'm pregnant. What is the big deal? So I found, it started by a pattern maker and then it went on to become like an embroiderer. And I found my core team at that time when I was creating stuff. And after Jay was born, I remember, I had started making a lot of clothes, but they were all for myself. And everywhere I'd wear them, even to Fashion Week, I had worn them once. And they were friends and designers who were like, why aren't you doing this? You should be doing this. This is legit. And one of my friends, in fact, Miss Shali, she has Pali Village Cafe and Pali. I remember her telling me that, oh, you don't have the guts to do it because you're too scared to fail. She said, you've always succeeded at everything. And, you're not going to launch this because you don't want it to fail. And I know you. Okay. So that, she was staying with me in Delhi at the time that she said this. And that really hit me hard. And I said, you know what? She's right. I am scared to fail. And I need to not be scared. So whatever it is, I need to do this. And I remember going for a yoga retreat that really helped me clear my head. And I came back and said, yes, but I needed someone to help me with the managerial side and the monetary side of things. I'm very artistic, but really bad at managing money. So then Dia came on with that. So it was really like the perfect fit. And we are very close. And we started the brand. And, touch wood, it really just soared immediately. Yeah.
I've seen you from when you started. Of course, you started way before we worked together, but your work is brilliant. And of course, I want to ask you, when you did start off, like you said, your friend told, when someone tells you that and I think it motivates you in the right way to just be like, I've got this, I'm going to do it. Who are you, you know? So tell me, was it very tough when you started out to kind of build a brand and put something together?
The first thing that was tough, I think, is self-doubt, because you are a person who has very high standards, and then you're looking at everyone else around you and you're seeing them put their best foot forward, and your self-doubt is always, am I good enough? Is this good enough to present? Is this good enough to shoot? Does this picture look good enough to post? It's always that self-doubt, and the thing is that nobody can give you the answer to that. You can only answer yourself. So it's a process of evolving into that. So for me, I had Jatin Kampani shoot our launch lookbook, and I remember just asking him, Jatin, what do you think of the clothes? Are they okay? Are they okay? And he kept looking at me like, they're great. Why are you asking me again and again? They're beautiful. We're shooting them. They look amazing. So I think I had to learn really as an artist to stop doubting myself, because that was really not serving me. And I had to learn to love what I was doing and to just do more of what I love.
Yeah.
And even down the line, you know, some styles would sell more, and then we'd have business meetings and we talk about product lines, and Dia would say, "Are you should do more of that, or that commercial stuff is better, and these artsy things you do, they never work out," and you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But I had to just learn along the way to just trust that I needed to explore. I needed to, you know, fulfill whatever it was that I was imagining, even if it wouldn't sell. And from that came out like stuff or designs which I know people say, oh God, this is like very original. It's not like someone else's. Or you know, oh, this is so you know, so that signature developed by like
But it
doing
really
this.
is, your collection is very you, and I think that you are your best model. You know, so when I always say that a person who has a brand should always model their own pieces, because
Yeah.
you know, or get people to model it, because I think when
Yeah.
you see it on a person live,
Yeah.
it's really it's something else. So we've got Shubha from Teen Gauge who says, still remember the blue sari worn by Shilpa Shetty on a reality show. That is an
Yeah.
iconic image to your brand though, Roshni.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, she's worn our clothes a couple of times, and I mean, she obviously has a killer body, and she looks really, really amazing
She
in
rocks
whatever
it.
she
She rocks
wears.
it.
And but yeah,
Yeah.
she does do this desi boho, Indian boho kind of vibe really well as well. And Sanjana Batra, who styled her for that, also has a great sort of flair with that sort
That
of
vibe. Yes,
that
you're
vibe.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And your clothes are that vibe, so
Yeah.
I can imagine her pulling it off.
Yeah.
But you know, in terms of marketing, we all talk
Yeah.
about marketing a brand, and we've had discussions many times about, you know, what next for every fashion designer. But
Yeah.
what have you done in terms of RCDC, in terms of marketing? So be it offline, online, is there
Yeah.
something that's really worked for you, or something that's not worked for you that you can share with us?
So, you know, one of the things that we have noticed is that there is nothing that works as well as Instagram for clothes. It is a very sticky platform when it comes to, you know, especially things like fashion and beauty. People they want to snack on that kind of content. And if you're able to, you know, post regularly, that really works well. So having a website was a big step for us, because we would just get a lot of sightings and we would post a lot of stuff, and people had nowhere to buy it at that
Yeah.
moment, you know.
Yeah.
It's that heat of the moment. You see something beautiful, you want it, you're like, okay, I want to get it. So Dia worked really hard on setting up our website and you know, getting a back end management in place to service the website, and we saw a huge surge in orders for us online. And I really feel that online is the way to go forward, because a lot of brands which are now suffering, you know, you're not going to be able to do brick and mortar. Yes, you will do touch and feel experiences. They may be at platforms like Fashion Week, they may be at platforms like your Spicy Sangria, they may be wherever, but at the end of the day, your website, your business is going to be your social media and your website.
Absolutely agree with you. So that's something
Yeah.
that's really worked for you.
Yeah, it's definitely worked for us, having an online presence. You know, and we never really paid for any ads. We just really worked with organic reach, creating powerful images. So we would always invest in our campaigns. And trust me, for a designer, it's not an easy thing to do, because you know, your source, you have to budget for like making the collection, then you have to budget for shooting the collection, then you have to budget for putting it up online, and you have to shoot it different ways. A campaign is different and an online shoot is different. So it's you know, but it's worth the investment.
Yeah, it's expensive. It's not, and now it's going to get even tougher post the lockdown. We've lost business for a good. Normally, we're planning for the next 2 months and getting our dates ready. When here we're, you know, thinking. So I agree with you. Online is the way to go. What about Instagram? So I've seen that you've taken a completely different route recently, and I personally love it. And I've been telling you this. No one does Instagram like you. I mean, not even like I'd say bloggers who this is their profession. I think that you're the best at it. So tell me about your aesthetic. Tell me about how social media seamlessly, you've kind of merged your brand and your brand Roshni Chopra with RCDC.
Yeah, you know, for me, this happened about 2 years ago, when I realized I was one day just looking at my feed and I was like, what is it? It's very random. there are some pictures with like celeb friends, actor friends, and there are some pictures with family, and there are some, this is a personal album, but I'm a public figure. So, and not just am I a public figure, but also I'm a person with a very keen sense of aesthetics. So I'm not doing myself justice, I felt at that time when I looked at this feed. And I was like, no, I want to create a sort of visual diary that I can refer to, that I can look back at, and that I can relish, just like a nice book or like any piece of work of art or whatever. So it started from there, saying that, okay, I'll just be a little organized. That little organized became very organized somehow. And, I wanted it to be a place where good aesthetics meet good taste, meets real life, meets travel, meets fashion, meets beauty, meets design, meets food. And it is a bit of like everything. So in the sense, it's more like a lifestyle sharing, because I wouldn't call it a blog, because I feel like a blog is again something that you're shooting specifically for a purpose. No, these are parts, these are snippets of everything that I'm doing.
This is inside your life.
Yeah, it's inside my head actually. So if you were to go into a jigsaw puzzle of many different pieces, this is what it would come out as. But what it's grown into is an amazing community of people who know that I am not constantly doing paid content. So I'm not. I mean it when I refer something, or when I recommend something, or when I tag someone, that I actually mean it, and that is genuine. So that's nice. I enjoy.
It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I have to say that your sense of putting things together, you just have the flair for it, and we can see that in the brand. So it kind of shows where it's coming from, also.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is creative outlet. No,
it's lovely. It's seriously lovely. And your biggest fan, who is my mother, I have to say, has written, Dia and Roshni have a great presence on Instagram. She definitely is your biggest fan.
She and I are fans of each other. Sharmila and Shams. I mean, when I meet her, and I'm always, I love spending time with her, because I think she's just someone who's so amazingly positive, and she's a force of nature. I love that about her.
Hi, Shaheen. I'm really blessed with my mom.
Please notice, Shaheen, that I'm wearing your...
Oh, hi, Shaheen. You're here and you're wearing Shaheen Abbas. How lovely.
I got these a couple of days ago from her. She lives like down, on my road. So don't worry. We didn't even cross the gate. We were like standing on either side of the gate. And I'm going to be shooting something fun with them. I think it's a great time to support smaller brands, and to also, I mean, the whole speech about Atmanirbharta and etc., and all the memes that we've seen, but ultimately Make in India has been a movement that all artists have been proud of, and that we have all been supporting. And we have so many amazing brands, so many of my friends, so many of your friends, people who do your shows. So it's time to step up. So rather than just tagging,
this is the time.
Yeah. And for me, again, so on my Instagram and on my social media presence, instead of just tagging people on stories, the small brands that I really love and I use, I'm going to be creating like fun content around them. So that's my way of just, I don't know, creating
a little bit of... That's a lovely idea, Roshni, and that's extremely supportive of you, because, at this point, like today I was seeing a magazine that did digital influencers like on a cover. And I was just thinking how big the digital world will be post this lockdown, because
it's huge.
That's all we've done for the last 1 month, the 2 months.
It's huge. I mean, if you look at insights and, professional insights, I feel like engagement has gone up because people have more time. More people are commenting. More people are talking, because they finally... Hi, Minnie. What's up, girl?
Hi, Minnie. How sweet. Everyone's here in support. Everyone's at home. It's so lovely to see.
Yeah, people have time now, so I feel like you finally have the time to sort of collate what is it that is important to you, what is it that you want to spend time on, where do you want to give your attention, and where do you not want to give your attention. So I think that little bit of curating one's own life, little bit of
important for sure.
Self-study, self-improvement. People are talking of, there are all these challenges, and even I had posted, the only challenge is just get through the lockdown, and that is a big challenge, just get through mentally sane. But yeah, I think all of us will come out a little changed.
100%. And Roshni, I've seen that in this last week, I can see a lot of people that I talk to, friends, all that, very frustrated. Like I can see that it's you're on that tipping point, right? But the day the lockdown started, I told myself I'm going to be productive. And you've seen my mother, we just spoke about her. So there's no way I can be sitting in pajamas all day. She'll be whipping me into shape. But I think that productivity is your own productivity. I think everyone has a different level.
Completely.
You don't need to follow someone else.
And it's also creativity. Productivity is creativity, because ultimately when you're sitting and you have the time, you're like, okay, what can I do? What can I talk about? What am I good at? So it is that journey, which is ultimately everyone is on their own self journey.
Totally.
Everything that you interact with is just a stimulus, or is just a part, or is a phase of that journey, or is a terminal that you're passing through,
Totally agree. So tell me, I want to just take up what you mentioned, that you are going to help a few people and put out some posts. I hope that other people also take this up. So any advice that you have, that how you think people can help smaller brands? Because at this point, don't think about the money coming your way. Everyone's first thought is, are they paying me?
So I would say this, and I'd say this to anyone who has a social media presence. It doesn't matter whether you have 500 followers, 50 followers, or 500,000 followers, okay? Who you support at this point shows well on you. Even if 5 people, thanks to you, go and visit someone's page, or go and look at what they're doing and then decide whether it fits for them or whether it doesn't fit for them, you should be doing it. As far as I'm concerned, I mean, I will make an announcement on my page as well, but I'm happy to announce it here. If there are any small businesses, any small brands that have interacted with me before, or that would like to send their portfolios in, and anything that rings true with me, I will just do something for it on my own. It's my own way of just saying, hey, we're there, we're all together, And if you're a small brand, it's a good idea to create a sort of maybe an intro to what you're doing, and to approach the influencers that you think are relevant to your brand, and to ask them if they'd be willing or happy to give you a shout out or to do something. Because at this point, I think everyone is more concerned. And what has happened is, because we're all alone in our houses, we are all isolated, but we've never been more together in terms of collective experience, because everyone is going through the same thing.
Absolutely.
So...
but Roshni, hats off to you, because nobody really does that or says that. People are still hoping, of course, post-COVID, and people are hoping for business to get back to normal. But to just come out there and say, I'd support you for digital influencers is a very big thing. And you are one. In your own way, you are an influencer. And you have the reach. So hats off to you for taking that initiative.
It's just my small way.
I'm going to ask you one more thing about RCDC. So a lot of, we have a lot of fashion designers like Shraddha Salvi, and all of them have logged in, Nehal Balani, and all my members. And the one thing that we constantly talk about at our events is how is offline presence a big one for you? I know you do shows, like, of course, with us as well. Is that a big presence for you? Tell us a little bit about that experience.
Shows and offline presence is really big, because ultimately when the bigger ticket items come into play, or the more expensive items come into play, people want to touch, feel, try on. And in terms of your brand making a relationship, so I feel like, we've had 5 years of doing shows, or 4 years of doing shows. In those 4 years, we must have touched so many different people who now feel comfortable to just click a button and order something worth 30,000 rupees online, because they've seen the stuff, because they know who we are, because they have seen and touched and felt and worn the clothes. So there's no replacement for that physical offline presence. In fact, I do think that events like the one you host as well are going to become even more relevant now, because maybe a lot of people won't be able to sustain showrooms, and maybe it is smaller, more curated, more sort of specific events that will be relevant to especially clothing and jewelry and boutique brands, or smaller brands which are starting out. For sure, it's a great way of touching people. I mean, events is a huge... I don't see our business having thrived and flourished the way it did without the events. And that's why I would go for the events myself as well. And
I know, and I've seen you at some of these events, Roshni. It's amazing to see, like you're saying, the personal experience, people ripping clothes off, you saying, I'll take that. You don't get that online. So I think that whole experience and energy is great. The last thing before I move on to little lockdown talk is, if someone is starting out and someone has a brand, a lot of young people are part of my platform who young in terms of their brand being young, maybe 6 months old. Is there any advice you can share that that you've really gone through and say that one or two things that really work for you, which they can follow?
I mean, the first thing I'd say is don't try and make too many variations of what you're doing. Like, you don't need to have a number of starting with 40 products. You can start with 4 products as long as you believe in them, as long as they have a signature of yours, and as long as they are relevant and that they fit in. So don't worry about creating too much stock. This isn't the time to create so much. You'd rather work in a more narrow vision, in the sense that create more quality rather than quantity. So that would be the first thing that I would say. The second thing is have a visual language for whatever your brand is. If you're selling coffee, if you're selling tea, if you're selling socks, if you're selling clothes, have a visual language. I think that is one thing that in today's sort of online presence and social media world is huger than huge. I mean, when capitalism started, and you're talking about brands like McDonald's and Starbucks who have that logo that nobody forgets. So now I feel like your social media visual language is your strength, is your visiting card, is what will help people recall you. So those are the two things: quality over quantity, and a visual language is really, really big. And have a financial plan. And if you can't project sales, then at least know how much you can back yourself up for how long, and spread that out.
Very well said. The one thing that really stuck with me, two things actually. One is have a financial plan, and second is that your social media is really your visiting card. So really update that. And we all have time now, so why not?
We do. And there's so many, the world is so open now. I mean, when I was growing up, there was no internet. I mean, I think internet came when I was like in college or something, or maybe grade 10, grade 11. So at that time, you only had your imagination and you had to work with that. Now you can reference stuff. You can, you want to take a course in a visual style. You want to understand something. It's so easy. It's like on at the tip of your fingers. So the stem of that is wanting to do it. The intent has to be there. And the intent shouldn't be, I want to just do a thing and it should look pretty. No, it's like, okay, I am doing a boho chic brand. I am doing a contemporary brand. I am working on classic positioning. So figure out what is it that you're working on and zone in on that niche, and then, present yourself that way.
Okay, great. I mean, Roshni, you've said everything that I wanted to hear, and such fab things. I want to ask you, of course, every time I see you, you're wearing the best of the best. My mom is obsessed with all your jewelry and your looks. So, whatever you wear, and lots of the times it's RCDC, but is there any other 3 brands that you can tell us, or people that you follow that we can follow? Because your aesthetic is lovely. I'm sure that you know similar people.
Thank you. Well, there's so many jewelry brands. I can't name 1 or 2 or 3. I'll name 5 off the top of my head. I love Misho. I love her stuff. Shaheen, of course, is a friend. I'm wearing her today. Bansri, again, really cute evil eye stuff for jewelry. So these are people in the jewelry. There's Amrapali, Silver Streak, who are absolutely amazing. So these are my top 5 jewelry accounts to follow for sure. Clothing, I'm a little more snobby about. But I'm really into athleisure these days, so I love Adidas. I mean, I'm happy to follow them. And I love also, hand block printed fabrics, which I find you can get really good in Jaipur, and you can do mad things with. So Riddhi Siddhi Textiles, everyone, this is a secret of like all designers. Right from Anthropology to Tory Burch to everybody, all of their head designers go to Riddhi Siddhi in Jaipur. They don't have a very big online presence, but it's a great store in Jaipur. So if you ever go there to get stuff from.
You always know amazing stuff. So I just want to read a few comments. So Karina Adnani, she's a nutritionist and she's part of our platform. She says, I agree, the hoops are beautiful. So Shraddha Salvi says, you asked the right questions, and Roshni, you were so elaborate. Thank you for that. Thanks, Shan, for always asking such valid questions, and Roshni for being so elaborate. And of course, you've got lots of heart eyes from many people. I want to also say on the last thing I want to ask you is, of course, this lockdown has been tough times. Like you said, be positive and let's do the best we can. But what next for Roshni Chopra? What are you looking to do post the lockdown?
So I think in terms of the brand, one cause that's been very close to my heart has been the environment. And I have actually spent the last year really trying to learn about more organic processes, organic fabrics, fair trade, the more natural, less wastage, that kind of stuff. So we have actually taken a bit of a break to rejig some things to be able to come with a version 2.0.
Wow.
This is a decision on my part just because I do want to keep reinventing. You know, one can keep doing the same style, but you have to like reinvent as an artist. And I believe that primarily I am an artist at heart. So in terms of the brand, there's that there's a 2.0 coming. I don't know how soon it will be because nobody can tell right now in the climate. But it will definitely focus more on being more environmentally ethical.
That's lovely. That's lovely.
More Indian at heart. It's already so Indian at heart, even more Indian at heart if it can be. Have, you know, we want to grow the international presence as well because we have a London office and is in London. So those are the things that we're thinking for the brand. And as far as I am concerned, there have been some really exciting offers, acting offers, presenting offers, stuff like that. I still really feel that it's very hard for me to leave my kids because they're small right now.
They must be loving having you at home, huh? You're always on a flight otherwise.
Yeah.
I mean, the kind of business that you do.
Yeah. They really are happy. They don't want to go back to school. They're like, please, let's not open school only. We want to stay at home with mom and dad. So, I think, you know, let's see. Stuff will evolve on its own. But the good thing is that every day I'm growing, creating, and even kind of, doing associations with brands even now.
That's lovely. That's really lovely. And I hope people reach out to you and something, does come out of it for you before the lockdown, because everyone knows that you're creating at home is the best.
Yeah.
So this is the best time to reach out to you. I want to ask you, two people have asked this question. I missed it earlier. Roshni, what apps do you use to edit your images?
So I edit on Lightroom, essentially, which is a Photoshop app. It's like, and I edit on my phone. I shoot on my phone mostly. And I think I really need to film a tutorial about how I edit because I've been asked so many times. But Lightroom is the only software that I use to edit. Sometimes, like these days, I'm learning other things like stop motion, and I'm learning all of that stuff. So I'm using the video app editor InShot to edit videos.
Okay, that's a nice one. I got a question also from Soulful Serenity. From Nehal. She does affirmations and she's a healer. And Lovely. She says, what's your routine like during the lockdown?
So I wake up in the morning and the first thing I do is I meditate before leaving my bed. Because once I leave my bed, then my staff, my kids, my husband, everybody is going to bombard me with 100 questions. So the first thing I do is meditate for at least half an hour to 45 minutes. The meditation may be just listening to a guided meditation, or it might just be watching breath or whatever, different kinds of things. But I feel that it really helps me I don't check my phone first thing in the morning. I don't look at messages. I don't dive into social media because I feel that all of those things can really just affect the way your mind is feeling, or and we are all super fragile right now. So mental health is the most important thing, and touching base with yourself and just giving yourself that calmness is really important. So that's the first thing I do. Then I get out and I have hot water, and then I only eat breakfast at like 11. I don't eat before 11. So
I'd be starving.
So then then there's kids, there's homeschooling with the kids, there's going into the kitchen. Some days I cook, some days we bake. I do have staff as well, so I don't have to do it. And but I sit with the kids for homeschooling. Then we have lunch where the whole family tries and comes together. Post lunch is when I either shoot or create whatever I'm going to create. So I like to dedicate the time of 2 to 4 or 2:30 to 4:30 for like all creative activities. So, you know, the lives and the shoots and everything is happening between that time. 5 o'clock I do yoga.
Wow. On
5
your
to
own?
6. Yeah, either on my own or sometimes I'll tune into a class, or sometimes I will go on a YouTube. You know, there are a couple of yoga people I follow. So depends. But self-practice also I'm doing. And then 6 to 7:30 is playing with the kids, and 7:30 is dinner. 7:30 is dinner. We finish by 8 o'clock. Then I go for a walk on my terrace.
After dinner, wow.
After dinner is the best time to walk because it really like keeps the circulation going, so it helps your digestion. And you know, you shouldn't sleep on a full tummy, so you should sleep on digested food. So then after that I get into bed at 9 p.m. That's when I do my face rolling, face masks, uh, herbal tea, etc. and Netflix at that time.
When is the wine time?
Wine is maybe once a week. I'm not drinking so often, to be honest.
Oh.
Saturday or Sunday, but that wine is also post dinner, always for us.
Yeah.
So you know, we eat very early because I like to do this intermittent fasting thing also, and in general I like to eat early. So I eat with the kids. I eat at 7 o'clock.
Okay, you have a question from Anupriya Goel, who says, how do you maintain your shine on the face and be shining all day?
Oh God, you know, I'm trying this. So I try all these new kind of face sprays and DIYs and stuff like that. I feel that it depends on, so you have to layer your serum with your cream. And toner, serum, cream, and then every once in a while spritz some either rose water, or these days I'm doing orange peel water. Don't ask me what all we keep doing. But yeah, I think it's just keeping the face hydrated is really important, and vitamin C is a great right now.
Okay, lovely. Roshni, thank you. You've really given us some great insights into your life. And I have to say one thing before you go, and I'm not saying it because we know each other previously, but guys, when you did mention that you are going to help people out and be a part of helping small brands, I was so touched that I just had to message you once and say, let's do a live, and it took you 1 second to say yes. And you know, thank you for supporting me and being here today, because I think that takes a lot. I mean, there are people who think, there are people who say, I'll get back to you. There are people who, you know, ponder over it. And I think that you are very special to both mom and me. And like I say,
as are you,
your biggest fan. So
as are you guys. Thanks, Sean. You're doing amazing work. I think you're so entrepreneurial, and you get people together. And in today's day and age, I really feel like, you know, who you know is your currency, is your goodwill. And I think that you have a lot of goodwill from people because you never bullshit. You're always straight and you're genuine, and that really does matter. And I'm very, very fond of you. And anything you do, I'm always there. Don't worry. 100%.
How sweet, Roshni. Thank you. It's been lovely chatting with you. Thank you so much.
Take care.
See you soon after the lockdown.
Stay safe, stay sane.
Yes, you too. Bye.
Bye.